Hi, hello everybody. Welcome to Arvind Upadhyay show. I'm your host Arvind Upadhyay here. In this episode, we're talking about how to set priorities in life for success. This episode is brought to you by Arvind Upadhyay Books and supported by Arvind Enterprises Group. Arvind Upadhyay book is one of the most trusted brand in the world, which millions of the people using on their daily life every day by their self-help business and for their reading practice. So if you want to practice your daily readings, you want to maintain your health, wealth and happiness, then absolutely go on Google, search about Arvind Upadhyay books, buy from your stores, online stores, Arvind Upadhyay books, because they will maintain your life, maintain your businesses, and they will also help to maintain your success. So in this episode, we're talking about priorities in life for success, and this episode is categorized as a personal success episode. So listen and enjoy this episode till the end. 85% of the Americans say they don't know how to prioritize as well as they would like. Have you even missed a deadline and forgotten something important or not accomplished something you would like to do? If so, learning how to set priorities could be the answer. So how you are setting priorities? Setting priorities is one of the most important skills to master in order to achieve success in life. It can be difficult to determine what is truly important, where to focus and your time and your energy. This is why it is so essential to prioritize tasks by sitting down to think critically about which to do are most important and which one will move the needle toward your goals. You can accomplish your dream and plans more quickly. So in this episode, I will share a practical guide with you, my best tips that how you can set the priorities in life to realize the success, and you will learn how to evaluate tasks, determine the top priorities and the best method for the carrying out the specific tasks that are necessary. So the importance of the setting priorities in life. Setting priorities meaning that you have the essential for the personal and professional success. Without the clear priorities, it is easy to become overwhelmed by the sheer volume of the tasks and responsibilities we face on the daily basis. So setting priorities is crucial for the effective time management, focus, goal achievement, stress reduction and decision making. Before you get started with your personal priorities, take a minute to look into the future and where do you want to be 5 years from today. And this is the one of the common question when you go for interview. Maybe interviewer ask this question many times, that where you want to 5 years from today. They create a mental picture of your ideal best future and then think about the steps you would need to take to make it reality. Remember, it doesn't matter where you are coming from, all that really matters is where you are going. And making a priorities list, including the daily priorities and even the unpleasant tasks that will help you to reach your life goals, is the quickest way to get there. Essential step to setting the priorities in your life. Priorities task will help you to narrow in one granular day-to-day work you need to do in order to realize the big picture. Here are the key steps you need to follow to set up the priorities and get started with the tasks that are necessary. Step 1 is that clarify your value and vision. Before you can drill down into the priorities and tasks, you need to first identify your core values and beliefs. These are the things that matter most to you in life. Example might include integrity, hope, compassion, family, honesty, justice, fun, innovation, health. It is important to know what these are because they are informed the way you live your life. Next, define your long-term vision and purpose. Think about your vision as a why vision help you zoom and look at the big picture, understanding the most important things that you would like to accomplish in life. The purpose is simpler. Your purpose gives you life direction. Often purpose relate to your unique gifts and talents. You should prioritize your goals based on your values and vision. For the instance, maybe one of your core values is justice, and you can start this by the figuring out and what social issue matter most. Choose a name, mission statement, become incorporate, file text, exempt state, and create a business plan. This is just as an example. Everyone has a different values and different beliefs. However, it is important to understand that you need to know what matters to you before you can begin priorities in life. If you need to help setting the right kind of the goal, start with the why. Start with my SMART goals jet sheet. Like a SMART is always, and remember that SMART is like specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. So this is SMART goals. You feel free to explore all of my episodes at Arvind Upadhyay. So I have talked about goal setting, where I discuss about how to make the SMART and the full form about that, and clearly about I have defined the how briefly about this, about SMART goals. So you can check out that resources also. Step 2 is evaluate the importance and urgency. Sit down and write a list of all your tasks and responsibilities, including tasks that are related to your job and professional life, your personal life, and any other thing you would like to accomplish. From here, you will order your list according to which task is the most important and to help achieving your goals, and which one is least important. Once you have determined how you task rank, start by knocking out the most important one first, and then never give the temptation to clear up the small things first. Don't start at the bottom of your list and work up to the important task at the top. Well, this is the natural human tendency that it is not effective and efficient. When you begin clearing up your small task, you seem to attract more and more small tasks to work on. This doesn't increase the productivity. So the longer and harder you work, the more small tasks seem to arise. By the end of the day, you will be executed and you will not have accomplished anything value. This is why I recommend always starting with your most important work list first. Okay, so whatever you have the most important things to do, you do first that things, and then the least important according to that priority, according to that order you do. Step 3 is determining your top priorities. Categorize the task of your list into the high priority, medium priority, and low priority. So what is the high priority, and what is the medium priority, and what is the low priority? Categorize them with the step by step, and then you have the item to align with the best with your values and vision builds that have the greatest impact in everywhere in your success. If you are struggling to figure out which single task to start with, then you can use our tactics called ABCD method, and this is like A for the item, the most important must be done. B for the item only have the minor consequences, and if they don't get done, C task have two consequences, and D task for the should be delegated to someone else, so you can focus on energy on A task. E item is on the truly necessary and should be eliminated. So like that you focus in this method. What is the most important, then the less important, minor consequences, C is consequences, and like a delegated. Once you have your list written out, start with the A task first, and if needed, it's okay to have the multiple of the A task. Write them A1, A2, A3, A4, etc. Step 4 is assess potential roadblocks. So when it's come to goal setting, like most thing in life, it is best to be proactive. Brainstorm any obstacle and roadblock you might run into. You are trying to complete the most important thing on your list, then figure out how you will approach those problems, and it avoid distraction that keep the productivity up. The problem solving mentality you have in the good perspective to have. Unfortunately, life is not the smooth sailing all the time, so you will have to yourself time and headache later if you tackle your goals and other tasks with the solution prepared in your back pocket. You can also think about the potential consequences of the completing or not completing each task. If the task has serious consequences, make it as a high priority. An example of the task with consequence might be report that your boss need to for an important meeting. If you don't get this important task done, it will reflect badly on the company and on you. Task and consequences on the take priority. Easier and smaller tasks can wait. Step 5 is it's okay to say no. Setting priority also means learning to say no to the tasks that are not important or do not align to your goals. This will help you to stay focused on your most important task and prevent you from getting sidetracked by the less important one. If you're like many people, you might have trouble saying no. This could be because you want people to like you. You are afraid to conflict and you enjoy staying busy and helping others. These are the all natural reasons. While these are the natural reasons, you can't do everything. And if you feel like you have too many priorities, this would be a sign you need to learn to say no. Don't feel guilty about turning down a request. Here are some phrases to use. Unfortunately, I don't have to bandwidth for the aligning now. I'm afraid I can't do. Maybe ask yes instead. So you can do like that, saying no at every time. That's a work is not aligned with your goals, or that work is not related to you, and so you can say directly no for that. And you need to learn to say no. And you can, step 6 is like creating a plan. So once you have determined your priorities, make a plan and tackle each task. Break down larger tasks into the smaller, more meaningful steps. The set deadline for each milestone. This will help you to stay track and make progress toward your goals. Remember, the first 20% of any task usually account for 80% of the value of that task. Once you begin working that task, the first 20% of the time that you spend on the planning and organizing the resources necessary to achieve the task usually accounts that for the 80% of your success. In setting priorities, always focus on the first 20% of the task. This is, I said that this is my 80/20 rules, which focus on 20% of the work is more important compared to the 80% of the work. In setting priorities, always focus on the first focus. Remember that you focus on your 20% of the work for any task usually account for the 80% of the value of that task. Once you begin working on that task, first 20% of the time that you spend planning and organizing the resources. So you do that by that example. If you are in sales, getting the initial appointment where you meet the face-to-face with the decision maker in the first 20% of the transaction, but if it account for the 80% of the value in the entire sales. So process, the presentation of the closing the sale, the follow-up, the delivery, the product and service represent the second 80%, which only account for the 20% of the value. This is why you need to identify where to start with the each task and then you dive into writing. Step 7 is re-evaluate regularly. Our priorities in life can change from the over time. This is the natural and okay, but it means you need to re-evaluate regularly. This will help you to stay focused on your goals and ensure that you are putting your time and your energy into the tasks that matter most right now. Schedule time in your calendar and on regular basis to review your goals, set priorities and plan ahead. You might choose the once every quarter. Thank you so much for listening the Arvind Upadhyay. So this episode I think is very important for everyone. Please share this episode with your friends, colleague, family, everyone, and please make sure follow us wherever we are available on social media platforms. Thank you so much again for listening this episode. I am your host Arvind Upadhyay signing off. Thank you so much.